Hi everybody, thank you again for clicking on this video. My name is Josh. You are watching Unfiltered Business, where I talk to professionals about profession. Now, in this channel, we have spoken to lawyers, we've spoken to mediators, we've spoken to radio anchors, HR specialists, and a lot more. But today, we have another very, very interesting guest. Have you ever considered a career in writing? Have you ever considered a career in giving reviews? Have you ever considered a career in writing your opinion and other people reading about it? And is this something that you've been aspiring to do? So today's professional has got a very, very interesting job. He's very passionate about cars. He is the managing editor of dsf.my. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Daniel Sherman Fernandez.
I don't believe in having an office.
Right.
So my office is my home. If my staff not happy working from home, come to my house. Sit in the dining room.
Really?
I've got everything. You can work. I got water, coffee, tea, everything. Plus, I'll give you some food to eat. But I might give you a bill at the end of the month. I might give you a bill at the end of the month because it's not free. But I provide that.
Okay.
So that's how we did this. And it was a success. It was a success. But after a few years, American, British, and Australian magazines, especially the British. Because why? Right-hand drive cars, very similar to Malaysia. A lot of models also were going from this part of the world to UK. For example, Proton was being sold in Britain. Perdua was also being sold for a short while. The Korean cars were going there. The Japanese models that were sold here were going there. But also they got other models which are never going to come to Malaysia at that point.
Right.
But these magazines were run by people who just had the title behind them. They didn't have the heart. They didn't have the expertise. They may have been better photographers. I was a lousy photographer at that point because I was not born to be a photographer. Sure. Now I'm very good. I learned the hard way. But at that time, they used to make fun of me. Oh, your picture's not so good, blah, blah, blah. I say, okay, but your editorial sucks. And I used to tell them to the face, your editorial sucks. And you're riding on a title. You're not riding on your hard work.
But then these are the guys that are also writing in their own countries.
No. Because once the magazine comes here, you have local content produced by local guys.
Oh, so it's local guys writing.
Yes, but using a foreign title. For example, Top Gear, Evo, Autocar, Wheels, Talk Magazine.
Okay.
These are all coming here, syndicated.
Hire locals
To do the local content.
So this is the CKD version of...
You're getting smarter now. Hey, I like you. Okay, anyway, so this is how it happened. Now, when you do this, you're not facing the reality of publishing.
Yeah. Right.
Because you're just taking content 60-70% from UK, and then you add in your local content a little bit, and then when you sell your magazine and you say, oh, I did a good job. Hey, mine 100% my own, 100% my own. I can proudly say till today, nobody in Malaysia did what I did. Nobody. Anyone willing to come and contest me on that, come. Let's play. 27 years ago, I was number one, and I kept number one for many years, even though all these British magazines came in. And what happened to all of them? One by one died. Bankrupt. Top Gear, bankrupt. Autocar, bankrupt. Motor Trader, bankrupt. Sold and then bankrupt. Okay, magazine.
And why do you think they went bust?
Because all of them had nice big offices.
Right.
All of them had a fleet of...
Didn't make good business decisions.
All of them spend money, 20,000 buying one camera. I had a $1,000 Pentax, tick, like that. And then why do I need 10 writers when 5 writers can do the job of 10 writers? Why 5 writers? You motivate them. Instead of me paying 10 salaries, I pay 5.5 salaries.
Yeah.
I pay you a little bit more. I say, do a little bit more.
You pay them a bit more better. Yeah.
Bit more better. And they say, yes, I want to work for you.
Sure.
And then the magic, you work from home.
This was in 1999 already.
1990.
2000, wow.
Yeah, early 2000s. Work from home, which means you don't have to pay parking.
Yep.
You don't have to go through traffic jam every day. You don't have to clock in, clock out.
Yep.
But people say, oh, how do you monitor them? I said, every day there's an event. Every day there's a test drive. Every day there's something. Yes, in between they may go and see a movie. 2:00, deliver the article to me. Email it to me.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then sometimes, 4:00, they may say, oh, traffic jam. Go home. No, I'm already home.
Yeah.
Then some of them who had young kids, my son is not well. I said, go, no problem. I'm not going to stop you. 2 days, 3 days, you're taking care of your son, your daughter, your wife, your mother-in-law, whatever. Go. They appreciate it. The next day, the fourth day, they come back. They work harder for me. I learned the magic of taking care of people who work from home. Yes, I had 1 or 2, maybe 3 employees who abused it.
The trust aspect. Of
Yeah,
it.
the ones that abused it, I told them nicely, it's time for you to go.
Right.
And out of those 3 guys, 2 of them, till today, they haven't got a job back in editorial.
When was this?
Many years ago.
Oh, okay.
One of them is a keyboard warrior now, every day hassling me online. Because
They're still around and you know where they are and
I
what
know.
they're doing.
Yes, because they're living off their parents' money.
Right.
Because why? They were lazy. They were useless.
Okay.
Okay, I won't mention their names because they know who they
I
are.
think they know who they are.
Yeah, because 6.1 million people are watching. You know who you are. Now,
I don't know where these figures are coming from. So just
it's audited. It's audited. I have the figures with me. Don't worry. I can share it with you. Okay. As the years progressed, my magazine bosses were happy and everything else. So the foreign magazines started closing down because they were going bankrupt. Less and less magazines were selling. So we were doing 20 over 1,000 copies. 20 over 1,000 copies is good.
We are hitting the brakes shortly to tell you about Giggles. Now, who is Giggles? Of course, Giggles is the one that made this episode possible. But more than that, if you have an automotive event coming up, a product presentation, a product reveal, or if you're planning a workshop about cars, about EV cars, then I will highly recommend Giggles when it comes to feeding your guests who will be coming for this event. Because you got to remember that great discussions will need great food. And that's what Giggles will do for you. So they offer premium catering services according to the budget and according to the menu that you would like. So no matter the scale of your event, Giggles can handle that very, very well. Okay, and now with that, let's continue our very interesting chat with Daniel Sherman Fernandez.
You know, in Malaysia, because we don't have a huge population. But it started going to 5, 6, 4, 3. Then you have a point where it's no longer making money, even though we are low cost operation.
Yes.
But you're not selling enough magazines because why? The online game started coming in,
yes.
and
Correct.
now you could get all these foreign magazines online for free. So why would you come and read my magazine? I totally understand because why? Even though my content I think was good, but it can never beat the foreign magazines because why? When a German car is launched in Germany,
Yep.
who gets the car first? The guys in UK, the guys in Italy, Germany, Switzerland, Finland. We get it maybe 5-6 months later. So our news already old.
Yeah.
Our review is old.
Old reviews, yeah.
When you're online, that review comes out first.
Yes.
Okay? Now, Japanese cars, Japanese magazines were online. Same thing. Korean, you can't read because they don't have a translation. Australia, same thing. Holden and Ford of Australia, they had magazines coming from there. So straight away, I started losing ground in the magazine world.
Right.
Okay? Because why? I'm not right in front with the news.
And how did you weather that?
So what happened is I went and told my boss. I said, boss, I think we have to go online. Not that I love online. I don't know anything about it, but I think we have to go online. Now, they were a brick and mortar company.
Which year was this again?
Huh?
Which year was this again? When
This
you made
was
this?
about 15, 16 years ago. lah.
So, okay.
Okay?
2009, 10.
Now, they were a huge brick and mortar company. They had factories overseas, Malaysia. They were doing a lot of business. They had plantations. The magazine was just a very small part, not even 0.1% of their business model. So they said to me, nobody's going to go online because they are a brick and mortar business. So I told my boss, if I go online on my own, would you mind? He said, go lah. You still have a job here until we close down lah, but I don't know when we're going to close down. He said something like that lah, and he joked about it. But he was a very nice guy. He wanted to give me the opportunity to go out there and test waters lah,
That's very good.
So I was sitting down with a relative of mine, and I was saying, I got to think about this online thing. We were just sitting down like shooting the breeze and all that. He says, set up a
Website.
blog lah. Set up a blog.
Blog, yeah.
I said, what's a blog? Oh, what's that? Like a block of wood? A blog. He says, you don't know what a blog is? I said, I'm not an IT guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a genius in so many other areas, but I'm not an IT guy. And I emphasize
But Paul Tan was already around at that time.
Paul Tan was already around, but I wasn't following him because I didn't know who he was.
Okay.
Because I'm not online.
Because he was one of the first few bloggers, I think, in Malaysia.
Yes. And that time there was also another website called Auto World.
Okay.
And then there's another one called 0 to 100. Okay? So they were around, but I'm not following them because to me, you don't know what you're talking about. lah. I'm arrogant, what? I'm a genius, what? You know, I've been around many years. What? Indians. So I said, I'm not going to bother with all this. So my cousin said, no, we can set it up now. I said, what do you mean now? He said, you go home. My house is nearby. I said, go home, get your laptop and come here. I said, what are you talking? He's an IT genius.
Okay.
So I said, okay. So I went home, got my laptop and came back. Meanwhile, my wife and his wife are looking at both of us like, what are they doing at the dining room table? 2 hours later, DSF was formed.
Oh. And this was in?
16 years ago.
Right.
He got me the name, this, that. He said, okay, you can't post anything yet. You got to wait, for the approvals and whatever else. He was giving me all this gibberish talk. I was looking at him blank and like, okay.
Whatever you say.
That's brain surgery, dude. Leave it at that. A few days later, he messaged me. He said, okay, you're ready to post. I said, post what? So I had to go back to him and he had to show me how to
publish a post.
And everything. So I learned it from the get-go.
Okay.
And then after a few months, I was struggling, really struggling. I said, I got to take a class. I mean, I can't go back to my cousin and ask him to teach me all this. So I took a very simple class for 4 weeks.
Okay. On? Class on?
On, publishing, blogging, this, that.
Right.
And I had this... This guy that was like 22 or 23 teaching me, but he was very patient and he showed me everything. Within 3 weeks, I got a hang of it. But he also told me, you have to do certain things you can't do. This is how you put your heading and this and that and all that. Then he said, you need a Facebook page. I said, what's that? He said, no, you got to set up a Facebook page. So I had to call my cousin. I said, do you know what Facebook is? He said, it's so popular. I said, I'm going to come over now. So he set up my Facebook account for me. And then after that, he said, hey, since you have a Facebook, you got to do another thing called Instagram.
Yes.
And they were not associated at the time.
Yes.
I said, Insta what? What, Telegram? He said, no, Instagram. I said, I know Telegram, go post office, right? Send to Singapore, how are you? Whatever.
Telegram is something else, but that's okay.
That's that we cannot use it here. Nah, cannot. All illegal. So anyway, I learned that also. And then within a year, I started earning revenue from dsf.my.
Brilliant. Okay.
I started earning revenue because why? My numbers were not great, but I had hardly any competition because, like I mentioned, those 3 other guys were my competitors. The rest was still brick and mortar.
Okay.
They were slowly thinking about coming into the space, but we were already in the space. And then I started looking at clients, and they're looking at me and saying, hey, you're online. I have a small online budget. Last time the budget is like this now. We have this huge traditional budget. But now, because there's a thing called online, we have a small online budget, but we don't know where to put it because there's only so few of you. So we give you lah. So suddenly I'm getting like,
okay.
With no effort.
At that time, you already had writers?
No. It was just me.
Just you? Okay.
Just me.
Okay.
So that was also the same time the magazine had to close down.
The one that you were attached to?
Yes. So by then, Asian Auto magazine, it was called Asian Auto. Till today, it's the oldest car magazine. It was still alive. Because why? It was the first car magazine to be set up in Malaysia. It was the first ever car magazine to be set up in Malaysia. Asian Auto.
Wow.
So, it had many editors before me. So I was the last editor.
Sure.
I was the dead editor. So the magazine shut down. It was a tearful farewell and everything. And my ex-boss by then already said, good luck in your new venture. Of course, I didn't tell him I started making money.
On the side.
On the side. So I started doing it. And I was alone for 7 years.
Sure.
So I did all the content, photography, everything. Social media, everything for 7 years. It was tough. I used to work up to 2, 3 a.m. every night. And then as the years progressed, competition started coming in. And competition was not just coming in. They were coming and trying to slam me. They were, vicious attacks.
Right.
All kinds of nonsense. Then I think it was 3 years, maybe. No. Sorry, wrong timing. I think it was on the 6th year. Yeah, 6th year. No, 5th year, sorry. On the 5th year, I was getting attacked too many times on the blog.
Right.
Getting shut down, malware, thisware, thatware,
right.
Viruses, underwear, all that nonsense was coming in. So a very good friend of mine whose wife was working as a programmer said, I've got this colleague in my office that's excellent at, building websites and this and that. You should talk to him. So she introduced me to him. And he was about to leave the company and set up his own little company, just doing websites and backhand and, like an outsourced business. Okay. So till today, He's the one who set up DSF as a proper site.
Okay.
Until today, he maintains the back end of my site.
Brilliant.
Until today, I get attacked quite regularly.
Yes.
Whether it's overseas or local, we get attacked.
Yeah, I've seen your content. I don't know what is attack worthy. But apart from car reviews, you also do reviews on watches.
Yes.
You also do reviews on motorcycles.
Correct.
And like I asked earlier, I'm not sure what exactly is the link here between a person that is a watch enthusiast and a person who's a petrol head.
Right. A lot of watch brands collaborate with car brands, and they've been doing it for years. I mean, Lamborghini collaborates with a high-end watch.
Yeah.
Of course, Omega collaborates with few people.
Tag
Casio,
with, yeah.
Tag, Citizen watches.
Yep.
Seiko have collaborated. Tissot.
Okay.
So a lot of watch brands. Sometimes the collaboration is just Europe or just America or just one season or whatever. So I started doing a little bit of work on it. Then I started getting invites.
Okay.
From, I think the first real watch company that invited me was Swatch, Bell & Ross, Casio. So they started inviting me, and then we started going for this event. We started doing coverage for them. And then suddenly other watch companies started seeing it. And then they said, hey, would you like to come and do coverage?
Okay.
So sometimes...
Just need one to start with.
Yes.
And then, you just
and then sometimes this watch has no collaboration with any car brand, but can you come and just give us some coverage? So I thought, okay, because why? We do get eyeballs on watches, but it has to be something sort of sporty, something mechanical, something,
So that's the link.
That's the link. But if I put up, say, a watch that is destined just for the females, okay, a very, very feminine watch, hardly any eyeballs. Because why?
Okay.
My viewer base is only, right now at its highest, is about 28% female.
Oh, okay.
It used to be only like 3-4%.
Yeah.
But now it's like 28%. And I think that is not because of the watches, it's just because we've made our writing more simple.
Yeah.